All right, now we've got all our images and they're all populated with the necessary metadata. It's time to create a custom report template. And in fact, the template is usually created in parallel with the job setup template. But in this case, I made the job setup template, I generated the shots and the data, and now I'm going to show you how to create the custom report template. In my hand here is the sketch that I created a while back showing how I'd like the report to look. And I'm going to go to our interface now and lay this out with various components, namely a header. These are various kinds of tables. This is a row. This is called a row major. This is called a column major. I'll explain what each of those are. And then there's a footer. And I'm not going to be using all of the possible components in our layout, but I will touch on what they are and how they're used. So let's go to File, Custom Report, and I'm going to go to Report Layout. Okay. So here's where I create the layout, and when I'm all done with the layout, then I can save as and call that a new custom report. The first thing is going to be a header. So what I do is I take these components from the left-hand side and I drag them over to the right side, okay, the way I want to format my report. So I've got a header, and then I've got a table. Bring a table over there. Okay. Now it wants to know what kind of table is this. This is going to be a row major. Okay. Now this is where it could get a little bit confusing because a row major is normally done for a single image report, but a multiple image report can also have these kinds of tables in them. So I'm going to put row major, right? And how many columns do I want? A column is a name and a value combination. I want 2 of those in my first table, right? And then I want to skip a space before that table, okay, just to space it out nicely on the page. And I'm going to say OK. The next table I'm going to drag over is going to be also a row major, okay, single image. And this is going to have 3 columns, okay, with a space before that one. And I'm even going to put a space after that one, because after this I'm going to put the big table of images. Right? This one's going to be a column major, okay, for multiple images. So however many images I choose for the report, it'll be 1 line, okay, 1 row per image, and I'm going to define what columns I want in each case. And I'm going to put, I already put a space before that. Maybe I'll put 1 more, okay, and then another space after that. And say OK. Okay. And then I want another table with single image. This is a row major with 2 columns. And put a space before that. And a space after that. OK. And finally the footer. Now the footer I can allow for 1 or more reviewers to sign off on the report. So I'm just going to keep it simple now. I'm going to be the only person that approves and signs off on this report, so I'm going to say 1 row. But I can do up to 5 rows here. Okay. Once I've done this, before I leave this, there's some other components here that I'm not using. I could put text in here and move it over here, and so on. I can put, and that's just if I want to put some fixed text in the report. For example, before a table, I could label that table with something like screens used or something like that. Let's see, there's also an image. Now you can't put images in a multi-file report, but I can put, in a single file report, I could either put an image of the shot, I can put sketches of the radiographic technique, any kind of JPEG, and I'm pretty sure that in the multi-file report you can put an image of your technique or a JPEG setup, but you can't put images of the individual shots. That's way too many images. And a mixed row is simply any combination of text, image, and table. Okay? So I don't have any mixed rows in this report, but I could put, for example, a table next to a JPEG of my radiographic technique setup. Okay. So I'm going to save this. I'm going to save as. You can't write over the master templates, but I could do a save as and call it CSH report demo. All right, and I'm going to say OK. So I saved that, and I'm going to close it. The next step, I'm ready to assign data to all of those components. I'm going to click on the data assignment. Okay. And the first one is the header. I'm only going to do one logo in this case. I'm going to put, I'm not going to do the logo on the left. The report title, I'm going to put CareStream, NDT, inspection report. I can put maybe another line. Rochester. So you can put your company name and address here and phone number if you want. If I include title, it's going to say report title. I don't need that. That's kind of silly. So I'm going to say OK there. So now I've got a report title, and I want to put in one logo. I'll browse and find a company logo. In this case, I'll put in the CareStream logo. Open that. Say OK. So I've got my header configured. Now I'm going to assign data to all of these tables. The first table, I asked for a table with 2 columns. In column 1, I want the company name, line number, customer job number, the work order number, and the PO number. So let's go find them over here. Company name, right there, and move it over. Okay. Now, these other items aren't existing Daikandi metadata tags, so I'm going to go down to my user defined, okay, and one at a time, I'm going to move over a user defined field to the table and name it. Okay. Now, if they're simple names, I can type it in. If they're complicated and I think I might make a mistake, I'm going to go to that Word file that I made up and come here and copy it with a Control-C, come back here and put it in with a Control-V. Okay? That way I'm sure I typed it in exactly. If it's not exactly the same in the report template and the job setup template, they're not going to hook up together and you won't see it in your report. So do that and say OK. There it is. There's my line number. Next is my customer job number. That's another one where I don't want to make a mistake. So I'll come over here. Customer job number. Whoops. User defined. Move over. Come over here. Oops. Actually, I can just read it from there. Cust job NO. Okay. The next one is going to be CSH work order number. Again, I can just read it off the top and type it in. User defined, move it over. CSH work order NO period. And don't forget, this is case sensitive, so the capitalization matters. If you put an extra space at the end of it, that also matters because a space is a character. They won't line up and they won't hook up. Say OK. And the last is the customer PO number. Again, I can go here and actually get it, and Control C. Come back here and Control V. OK. So that's my first column. In the second column, I want my study date, study ID, applicable code, and radiographic procedure. Come up there. Where is it? Study date. Move that over. Study ID. Where are you? See, these are arranged in numerical order, not alphabetical order. So you may have a little trouble finding them at first. And I give up. So I'm going to go here and sort, or filter rather, by study. Now I can find my study ID a lot more easily. Okay. To get rid of the filter, I'll just blank that out and filter again on the blank, and I've got them all there. The other one is applicable code and radiographic procedure. Those are user-defined, right? I'm going to go here, get user-defined, move it over. I think I can spell that without making a mistake. Applicable code. Okay. And radiographic procedure. User-defined, move that over. Radiographic procedure. All right. Now I've created my two columns. I'm going to go back and check just to make sure. That's the first column. It's got those items in it. That's the second column. I'm going to say OK. Now I'm going to go to my next table. This one I have three columns. The first one, I want material name and thickness. Let's find that. Material notes. Okay, a lot of times it's going to be faster to filter. Material. Okay, so there's material name. Move that over. I want the material thickness. Move that over. I want the IQI type, so I've got to put a blank there and unfilter. Image quality indicator type. Oh boy, here we go again. Image. Image quality indicator type. Move that over. And then sensitivity, I know, is a user-defined one. So I'm going to come here, unfilter that, go down to user-defined. It's way at the bottom. Move that over and just type in sensitivity. Okay. Next column, I want reinforced shim thickness. I know that's user-defined. And I forgot exactly how I spell that, so I'm going to, in this case, reinforced shim thickness, I'm going to copy it. When in doubt, cut and paste so you don't make any mistakes. Okay, add that. Oops, I'm sorry. Add that. And then the next are existing image metadata, isotope name, source strength, and source diameter. Where's my isotope name? There sure are a lot of fields to choose from. So again, filter it. Isotope. There it is. A lot easier to find that way. Isotope name, source strength. Source strength, okay. And source diameter. It's here somewhere, active source diameter. Okay, I've got those four. Last column here, I want the exposure time. I know that's there somewhere. There's exposure, but that's not it. There's exposure time. Screens. Well, let me do this. IP type or plate type. There's plate type. And move that over. I did this a little out of order so I can show you how to move them around here on the right. The next one I want is a user defined. That's screens and technique I want. So unfilter, go down to user defined and screens. Okay. And another user defined, move that over, and technique. Okay. So I want IP type to be down below screens. I'm going to move that down. See? So I can rearrange the order here in this column. So again, I'm check my columns. Got all of those. Column 1. Column 2 and column 3. Okay. The next column is the big table of images. Okay, so this is a column major, and I want my series description. There's a series description. For the view, view A to B, B to C, and so on, I use the plate ID field. So I think that is near the bottom. Plate ID. I'm going to filter that. Plate ID. Image status. I'm pretty sure that's near the bottom, but I'll just filter. There you go. And device processing code. Device processing code. You only need a few letters for the filter, and it'll bring them up nicely. And then the last one is image comments. I think I know where to find that. Image dimensions. Okay, I'm going to filter IMAGE, image. Image status. No, that's not it. It's image comments. Should be here somewhere. There it is. Image comments. So this is my big table of images. For each image in the report, it's going to have these columns. I'm going to say OK. One more little table, that's table 4. I want the operator and inspector's name and levels. Let's find operator name. I think it's just listed here as operator. Operator name. Move that over. Inspector name, INSP. Move that over. And reviewer. Reviewer is a user defined. Get rid of that. User defined, move that over and put in reviewer. And column 2 will be the operator and inspector levels. Sorry, that's user defined. User defined, move it over. Operator level. Okay. Move over another user defined, inspector level. Alrighty, and the last one is going to be review date. Move over another user defined. Review date. Okay. Make sure I got those. 2 simple words, everything's capitalized. Okay. Just checking. So that's in column 2. So column 1, operator name, inspector name, reviewer, and right alongside that will be their certification level and the review date. Okay. And that's it. The footer, signature, I'm going to put in my name. And I'm going to include title, so it'll actually read signature Steve Mango. Okay. And then on the date, I'm going to auto-populate the date with the title date there. Okay. I'm going to save that. Right. And now I want to see what it looks like. I'm going to do a preview. There you go. Now I already had some files selected from a previous round. I had files selected for the report, but I'm going to show you how to do that right now. There's what my report looks like. I'm going to enlarge it just to get a better look. Okay. There's my first table, second table. The third table is my column major for all the images. Here are the series descriptions with each individual view, appropriate status, the indications that are present, and any comments. There's my last table, and then there's my footer. Okay, I'm going to close this, and then in the next step, I'm going to show you how to actually choose the files and generate the report. Now at this point, I'm going to create a custom report, and I'll just review what we've done so far. We identified all the information that needs to go into the report and created a job template, a job setup template. With that template, we ran the reader and ran the plates, and with each plate that was run, the job setup template automatically populated all that metadata into each image, into each file. I also created a custom report template with the layout that I desired for the report and all the associated metadata that I want in there. Again, the metadata fields from the job setup template and the custom report template have to match exactly. And I used that job setup template, like I said. I generated all the images and all the corresponding metadata. Now it's time to generate a report. Okay, it's at the end of the day. I've got all my images run, and I'm going to go to File, Custom Report, and I'm going to choose a template, okay? With the pull-down menu, I believe the one I just created was the CSH video demo, right? And I want a PDF, right? I can choose a PDF or a CSV. I'm going to do a PDF, and I'm going to select the files. To select the files, I could choose either a series, I could choose individual files, or I can go right to the study and choose the entire study, right? So I did that, show, add to report list, right? And then here's my report list. I'm going to have all these images in the report. I wonder if I double dipped on some of those. But if I wanted to review some, for example, I go to this one. If I want to remove, can I remove that? No, I think I tried this before and I didn't do that very well. So let's say I've got all of those files that I've chosen for the report. There's 24 files there, and I'm going to generate report. Let me enlarge that to take a better look. I'm going to go to 200%. There's my header. These are my tables, again, with all the necessary data is already populated. Oops. I made a little mistake here. I'm going to have to go back and see. Maybe I didn't put that in, the shim thickness. I remember putting in the wall thickness. Probably didn't populate a couple of those. And then for my table here, these are all the individual images. This is the series description. Each series corresponds to a weld. Each weld has the 3 views. And then whatever indications I found, whatever image comments I wanted to attach to those images, and the final image status. Below that is my the next table with the operator and inspector information, and the final sign-off by yours truly, Steve Mango, on this date. So you can see how we saved a lot of time and productivity. It sure beats the old-fashioned paper way. Once this report is, is formatted like this, literally it is generated in about 10 seconds with the click of a button. To go and do the next report, I can use the templates I created today, make some minor edits, resave them under a different name, and then I'll have another entire job setup and custom report template ready to go.